That's just like all that, and like with the whole government shutdown and all that type of stuff, like, I really sat down for a second. And uh the whole reason why they shut down is basically they were broke and they didn't have no money. And to me, it just didn't. Let me pull up. It was an article that I was reading, and like when I read it, it's just like I was just sitting there just thinking, I'm like, What? Like this doesn't make sense." So it says right here, the federal government ran out. I know you probably guys probably can't see it. I'm just reading articles from like ABC News. The federal government ran out of money after a Democratic-backed spending bill that would have extended health care subsidies under the Affordable Care Act and reverse cuts to medical failed. What? The federal government ran out of money. What? Hold on. Actually, let me share my screen. So let's read the same thing. What? How? What? The government ran out of money? Hold on. Let me see. The federal government ran out of money. How do you run out of money when you're the one that's printing the money? What? If I wanted to, if I wanted to, I could literally like go print fake dollar bills. Like they obviously you wouldn't they wouldn't be real. Like I can go to Google, go to a picture and print off 100,000, $1 million bills off of a copier. And these people have factories that print money and they can print trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars at any point in time that they want to. But you ran out of money. Hmm? I'm trying to think of an analogy in my head that could like correlate to that, but that's just like it's what? I was literally just sitting when I read this and I'm like, how do you run out of money? And it's like, and then it started to click. It's like, okay, wait a minute. How does this correlate to this? Okay, what does this like? I see what's going on behind closed doors. It doesn't make sense, but what can this bring? Let's step back for a second. If the federal government, if they ran out of money, and this, like it said that a lot of people, I forgot the word, but a lot of people that work like government jobs, they are being asked to leave with unpaid leave. So you don't get paid. You gotta go. Bye. And then whenever the government opens back up, and then it says like Trump himself, he said that like a lot of those people that are leaving, he's trying to get majority of those people, like of those positions to be fired anyway. So you're not coming back. So a lot of those people, I think it was hundreds of thousands of people that are affected like by that. And majority of them, like you just lost your job because you're not going to get it back when you have to when the government does open back up. And I'm like, okay, if they're ran out of money in X, Y, and Z, if they don't got no money, if the government doesn't have no money, that means essentially if they don't got no money, that means they can't basically give out loans towards people. Like if people want to get a loan for like a house or X, Y, and Z, people can't get loans and people can't borrow and people can't really buy houses and people can't buy this and buy that. Okay, so that means, and then on top of that, the government ran out of money. Now unemployment is increasing. More and more people are losing their jobs, meaning inflation is increasing, and less people are making more money. Like it's not like more and more money is being printed. Obviously, ain't nobody making no money. If the government is broke, what makes you think you're gonna make what? It's like, hold on, wait a minute. Just sit down with this for a second. If the government is so-called broke, right? What makes you think that you're about to get a random pop-up raise at your job? If the government ain't got no money to give, what makes you think they're gonna give you more money? Like, make it make sense. If anything, they're gonna take away your money. They're gonna cut down on jobs so they can essentially have more money. Hey, I don't know. But that's like this the whole government thing, but it forces fear, it forces panic. That's the biggest thing. People, especially for people that aren't like in tuned, and understand what's going on, like a lot of people of the world, that's why, God sends certain people. That's why it's just our job to warn people. Well, not everybody's called to do like what I do. Which is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Some people God just wants to have you awaken and you don't like you just take care of your people. But for me, my job is to spread the truth, spread the gospel, spread the knowledge of what's going on to the people around me. So that's just it is what it is. I know with what I do because it says like with certain people, like when you are in certain positions, you have a higher responsibility and you have a higher judgment. So my judgment is a lot higher if I don't spread the truth. But it's like it just it's just adding up because it causes more fear. It makes people more and more afraid of what's going on. A lot of that is literally just to get people afraid, for you to be afraid, 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 afraid. Because what does that do? While they're doing that, while they're getting everybody focused on the government shutdown, being afraid, getting more people more and more fearful, what they're doing is slowly, slowly predictive programming people to conform to the mark, conform to getting the real ID, conform to getting the chip. Because think about it. If like look at it from a obviously like a lot of you like you have eyes to see so you understand so you wouldn't do it, but think of it as a normal person, as a regular person on a day to day who's like still in the world, who's not like who's oblivious to all this that's going on. But think of a person as like they're pushing out fear on you. Not only is the government shutting down, they're losing money, people are losing their jobs, all of this stuff that's going on, chaos. And then they come out with, because what they do is they sell you the problem and then they sell you the solution. They're selling you the problem. This is the problem right here. All of this that's going on is the problem. And then they're going to sell you a solution. Hey, if you get this mark, hey, if you get this chip, hey, if you do this, if you do that, we will give you benefits. If you do this, that means you'll be able to go into this grocery store and get groceries. If you do this, we'll and a lot of this stuff, like even the that the real ID that they're doing in UK, he said that it was gonna be free. It's like a lot of the stuff you don't even gotta pay for. You can get a free mark, you can get it for free, and we'll give you benefits. Um, you can get this, you can go into this grocery store. You may have higher, like your ranking is going to be increased. You'll have higher ranking. You'll be able to get certain jobs. You'll be able to get higher position jobs because you decided to get this. You'll get more money. You'll get more pay. You'll be able to do this. And when you just got thrown into so much chaos and wickedness and all this and this problem, here's the solution. That's their solution. And there's like, okay, a lot of people are going to, oh, I'm going through all of this, jobs and X, Y, and Z. You telling me if I get this, I'll be able to get all of this a little bit, like plus more? I'll take it. That's their solution. The true solution is to go to Jesus, go to God. That's the true solution. But when you look at it like that, it makes sense. And you got to understand, most people are going to do that. Most people are going to do that because the Bible says the narrow path is traveled by few. The broad and wide path, that's what everybody, most people travel. So that narrow path is going to be few. So most people are going to do that first scenario of, conforming to it. That's what's going on in today's ages. That's just the reality of it. But there are going to be a select few people that wake up, and I see a lot of people doing it as well. It's dope because a lot of people are speaking out against it. A lot of people are going to wake up to it and are going to decide to give their life to God. That's all that matters. But yeah, that's like the whole government shutdown thing. Like it's really that. Like they're shutting it down. I don't let you guys got to understand they are doing this on purpose. If the dollar's already at zero, like the dollar's already at zero, like the dollar is worthless. It's already at zero. The dollar is worthless. What are they doing now? They're trying to because okay, the dollar's decreasing. What are they rolling out behind closed door? They're trying to have a one world currency. They're trying to have a one world thing. Um, like they're trying to do specific things to get everything rolled out. So when that does happen, boom, you'll conform to it. That's why it's like they're switching to like, cryptos and All this type. They're trying to get rid of the dollar and have their own currency, and they want to be able to track you and track everything that you do. And if they can't, then you're an outlaw. That's just what it is. Like the government shuts down, but Trump just ran up a bag on gold and just bought like a whole bunch of 24 karat gold ornaments for the White House. But the government shut but wait a minute, but wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's step back for a second. Isn't Trump a part of the government? Trump is a part like of the government system. How is it that he has all this money, but the government itself don't have money? How does it that he has all this money to buy a bunch of 24 karat ornaments, but the government doesn't have any money? It's these questions, man. It's these questions that you gotta ask. It's these questions that you gotta ask. Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Crypto's about to go crazy. Like I'm telling you guys, cryptos are about to go crazy. It's not a coincidence that Trump has a whole Bitcoin statue of him. Why would they build a statue of something that's going to like tank? What? Why would they build a statue of Trump with the Bitcoin in his hand? Think about it. Why didn't they build a statue of Trump? The same one that called Bitcoin a scam and he said that you should put your trust in the dollar. Why didn't they build a statue of Trump with a dollar bill in his hand? $100 bill in his hand. Why didn't they build a statue of Trump with a dollar bill in his hand? No, they built a statue of Trump with Bitcoin. Statues last for a little bit, like a decent amount of time. Bitcoin, look at what Bitcoin is doing. All-time highs. Is that a coincidence? No. Bitcoin is at all-time highs. And is Bitcoin going to stop? No. Bitcoin is going to keep on going up. And if Bitcoin goes up, like cryptos are like Bitcoin is like the dad, and all the other cryptos are like the children, basically. Bitcoin is like that main thing. Everything else is like its baby, is the children. Like Ethereum, all these other things, and they follow suit. It's unless it's like those meme coins, like those like meme coins and stuff like that's different because you can have a big pump up and then crash down in price just does all that. But like Bitcoin, Ethereum, that type of stuff like that, those more major currencies, they usually follow suit to Bitcoin. But like I said the other day, it's crazy how in 2021 Trump called Bitcoin a scam in like July, June, somewhere around there. And a lot of people sold off. Look at how far Bitcoin um October. Is it a coincidence? It's never a coincidence. Look at how Bitcoin, Trump called Bitcoin a scam, right? And look at where Bitcoin got to the lowest in 2022. 16 bans. Well, let's call it 15. Let's round it off. 15 bans. Imagine somebody in his position. Think about it. Let's just use common sense. Remember that video that I showed you guys yesterday? What did Trump say? He said his friends made 900 million in a day and one made 1.5 billion in a day. That's his friends. Trump makes a lot of money. If Bitcoin was at $15,000 a pop, what makes you think that Trump just decided to put 100K in Bitcoin? This man stacked up millions, probably even billions of dollars into Bitcoin. Think about it. When you have the power, just like the Bible says, when and especially when you're owned, but when you have the powers, God allows Satan to rule the world. Satan is the God of this world. And obviously Trump is not a chosen one. Obviously, Trump is not being led by God, obviously. But when you know that Satan can use anybody, and if you're the president, think about it. Like if you're like you can look at it from a wicked and a nice person. But as a like the Bible says, a wicked ruler will be given over to like the nation. But a wicked ruler, you know that your word holds weight. What you say holds weight. Like keep in mind, but it's like 15,000. Trump was stacking up, and look at what Bitcoin did. Like he called it a scam, everybody forgot about it, and everybody stopped talking about it. People didn't start talking about Bitcoin until 2 years later. Really, like once it hit the all, well, yeah, basically 2 years later in 2024, that's when people started talking about it again. Once it hit the all-time high, but by that time. Trump done ran up a bag off everybody. He done already, and he's still running up a bag now, best believe. But Trump done ran up a bag off of this. This move right here will make somebody billions and billions of dollars, especially with him, somebody in his position, billions, probably 100 billion, essentially. Could have made a whole bunch of money running it off on that. Then everybody wants to start talking about it and consolidates. People think, oh, I'm about to get in now. It's about to go crazy. It comes down. Everybody starts losing a whole bunch of money because all they did was just retrace a little bit. Everybody was so scared. And look what happened. Everybody gets out and then boom, shoots up crazy. In a couple of weeks, boom, it retraces out. Everybody, Bitcoin hit 100,000. Everybody's, it's like, it's the same exact thing, dogs. Like, Bitcoin gets to all-time highs every time it gets to like a new high, and every time it gets one Z, everybody starts talking about it. That's why it starts consolidating. People start getting in, and the smart people start taking their money out because they know it's about to happen. And then a retracement happens, and everybody starts getting afraid and panic, and oh man, I lost all my money. I'm giving up on it. Like, forget this. I'm going back to my regular. It is what it is. And then look what happens. Boom, it shoots up, and then same thing again. Oh, I'm gonna get in this time. Consolidates. It's just a pattern. Like it's literally all a pattern. But Bitcoin is clearly bullish. Like I said, if I look at Ethereum, Ethereum is going to be bullish as well. Boom, Ethereum is overall bullish as well. When God, like God always warns his people before it happens, and God is showing me this is the beginning stages of it. That's what I'm like. I'm telling you guys, y'all, hey, y'all lock in. Like me, I'm like, yo, I gotta lock in. Not just with the markets, but with God, because these are the times where it's like you really got to get closer to him because he starts like protecting you and guiding you to do certain things. And he forces you just like, yo, it's time to lock in. Like it's time to, give up the world, stop focusing on the world and really lock in with him. But yeah.